Hey everyone, rather Incoherent here. And I think most of what I'll be doing this episode is just dealing with this massive siege at Rhodes. There's another siege I need to handle at Tylus before I end this turn, but the big thing I'm doing this turn is the siege at Rhodes, so let's get started talking about it. Now, theoretically I could wipe out the Greeks without dealing with these reinforcements if I had Fight Night Battle, but that requires a 4-star commander, so I can't do that. Instead, I have to deal with these 2 missile cavalry, and this army of 2 missile cavalry, 2 slingers, and literally 10 militia hoplites. Oh, and also the actual city has their faction leader and a real hoplite in it. So, on the whole, I'm actually slightly outnumbered, and my unit quality isn't that great. Especially since I have a couple of these equites that are split up. In fact, normally I would never consolidate units if they were going to be able to be retrained later into full units, but this is a time that I will make an exception. And the reason for that is because I really need these units to not break. Now, I wonder if there's a way to make this man specifically the captain, since I don't intend on using 10 equites or anything. And it looks like the answer is no. Anyway, I feel much better with having full units of equites, as I need them to survive and rout enemy units, whereas if I have 50 equites smash in the back of a hoplite, they might lose 10 men in rout. That'll never happen with 100. And I'm actually pretty afraid of this stack. Now, as I was saying on the assault screen, I have to deal with these reinforcements, and they are going to be a massive problem if I let them in the city. So the obvious solution is that you don't let them in the city, ever. So the way I'll be deploying my units is just with intention to go left and right from the city, because as you can see, they're to the left and right, and immediately attack their reinforcements before they ever get a chance to join up. Now, I'm not going to need these rams for a very long time. I'm just going to drop them right here. Let me quickly sort my army. Since these 10 equites really have no value and are likely to rout, I'm just going to withdraw them from the battle as soon as I get the chance. Now, this massive infantry line's job is going to be to intercept the army in this direction and stop it from getting in the gates. I'm going to be drawing them up in front of the gate here-ish. So since the larger army is coming from this way, and I need to deal with the horses first, I'm going to have all of my infantry here ready to go. I'm also going to have 3 units of equites here to move around and try to find any weak units they can immediately rout. The big thing, though, is that these other 3 equites are going to go this direction and deal with the other 2 missile cavalry before they get a chance to start. So let's figure out exactly what that means.
The enemy have brought up reinforcements in a pathetic attempt to save
I can see their missile cav are here. My infantry line wants to form up like this. Only the right half will be covered by these rams, but that's fine. And it looks like I'm actually directly in front of their missile cav on the flank here, so that's what I want. Oh, and this unit just needs to leave. So as soon as I have the ability to attack this unit, I'm going to. I would like you to enter the battlefield so I may begin fighting, please. Okay. I should be able to rout that pretty much instantly. On the other side of things, this is already happening, apparently. Alright, I can see what's happening here. That's fine. I have to go check the other side of the battle now. This is a nightmare to manage. Okay, I've instantly routed that group of cavalry. I need to pull them back now. I don't want these on fire at will just yet. I want to wait until I'm actually fighting their hoplites for that. Otherwise, I would waste all my javelins on just a couple of routing horsemen. Need to go check on the other side of this. And it looks like I've routed one of them, which is going to get away with about half its men. And now I have to fight the other one, which is losing rapidly. So that's good. That's how this needs to be looking. And rather than continuing to pull back, I'm actually going to start moving these out towards the edge of the map a little bit. That way they're either wasting time moving towards these units and not moving towards the city, or they're leaving themselves open to these units by moving towards the city. Alright, and we got the general on the other side of the cavalry. Let's see how all of that's actually going, though. How many did we actually kill here? Okay, so about a full unit of missile cavalry went down on this side.
The enemy general is dead. His men know they're
I'm gonna let these fight it out until they get through, and then I'm gonna start running them around to the side that I'm on, with the majority of the army I'm in. Okay, so they're out. I can't do anything to catch up to them. They just need to catch up to the rest of my army now. It looks like they're trying to outposition my army, which is going to be a lesson hard learned for them, I think. Because you really can't outposition light cav. It's not how the game works. Because this is their slingers, this is their missile cav, both are open now. I'm going to move all of my units this way. I imagine both of these are losing and about to break. The balance of forces is evenly matched between Rhodian slingers and charging equites? Are you kidding? I'm actually going to push these through rather than fighting this so that I can deal with these slingers before my fucking equites lose. Something I've been staggeringly used to happening. At this point, I will turn on fire at will. And these just need to stop standing next to these phalanxes and run down the slingers. My cavalry are over here waiting for instructions. Please actually run down the slingers. See, I'm not sure if I can actually run down all these phalanxes, is the problem. Also, this one phalanx that's just split off is kind of hilarious. Okay, look, seriously. Run past them and kill them while you're going. It's not a super complicated idea. Oh.
General flees! Press forward so the spirit of his army is broken too!
Alright, I'm just gonna try to get them inside the gates so that the enemy can't actually route through this path.
Capture this place.
Okay. These need to line up here. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. No! No, go the other direction. Go anywhere but into the phalanx. Dear Lord. Okay. Fucking Christ, the pathfinding is making this hard for me. No, 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 no. No one should be going into the city. Stop. That is not where I want you. It's not where I've told you to go. It's never been your instructions. You're supposed to be fighting outside the walls right now. Please do that instead. Okay, I'm going to send most of them this way, but I'm going to leave one back here to catch anyone trying to route through. What is this unit? It's 20 slingers. I'm not going to stand in front of the walls and take missiles for it. No, 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 please don't do it. That was very close to terrible. Alright, as difficult as this has been to manage, I've lost 8% and they've lost 42%, so things are going very well at the minute. Alright, this should be mopped up pretty handily. and that will shift the balance of power even further in my favor. As soon as they're distracted and lower their spears, these come in and truly wipe them out. And finally, we're going to get a chance to actually look at what the armies look like with the ambush over. Wait, who are you? How did you end up routing? What? No, you actually need to keep fighting them. Apparently, they charged into the back of a hoplite and managed to lose, which is fucking embarrassing. Is there anything around here I need to be killing? No. Okay. So I'm going to put it to double speed and I'll get back with you once I'm finally back on full stamina. Alright, we're back at full stamina. Looking at how things have went, I've lost 16% of my men, and my opponent has 14% of theirs left. So that's pretty solid. Actually, looking at what's inside the city, they've got several very small broken units, 2 whole units of militia cavalry, it looks like. Actually, this is more than 2 units, isn't it? Okay, it looks like this is 2 units of militia cavalry, 1 broken unit of militia cavalry, and the general's bodyguard. There's a lot of shit stacked right there is the point. And they have hoplites in the center. Well, let's play this patiently and intelligently. I'll be back with you in a long time. Okay. So you can see all my units are at green again, and every single fucking gate has about 1/4 of my army in a ram positioned. So let's get started on this slow and meticulous process where everything falls apart at the end because the pathfinding's so shit that strategy really isn't all that worthwhile. But I do genuinely feel if I use no strategy, I will just lose this battle. So I have to do this incredibly slow, tedious thing. And now that we're making progress on the gates, we're going to move all of our units up on all the sides that are actually in range to do something as the gate falls. You can see the army has very little way of actually defending this. They have 47 militia cavalry here, 20 slingers there, 6 phalanxes here. They really don't have much in the way of actually dealing with this. I'm just going to have them charge through into the slingers. When this gate goes down, I will have them charge through into the militia hoplites. I believe I did tell them to charge, but you know, a slow, measured walk. It's pretty similar. Yeah, that's the run icon. I had to check. I'm going to pause briefly, since we're in the city here. Look at what's happening over here. Well, he's done nothing to fix this, so going to charge in. I'm going to start the process of moving everyone inside their respective gates. Wait, is the AI actually doing something? I'm slightly confused, because they do appear to be going away from the 2 gates I've actually entered right now. And I'm going to let this play out for a little bit over here, because I don't want to charge into missile cavalry. I'm just going to run all of this over here. Actually, that's not going to work. Rather, I'm going to run all of this here and defend in both directions and have my general ready to come in. Well, not my general, but my equites. I'm going to send my equites in. I'm going to have these guys just walk out of the way. I am unclear what in the hell is happening with this. Since the missile cav backed off, I'm going to have all of these try to get in. Oh, they're actually coming to the front gates? That is a possibility I hadn't considered. This is such a clusterfuck. Like, I feel so ill-informed as to what the enemy AI intends to do. One thing I do know, though, is that this Black Friday formation right here is not very powerful defensively, so I'd better try to turn it into a charge. This route goes back this direction. So I actually want my equites charging in, because they're going to try to route straight through all my Hastati, I guess, instead of back the way they came. Okay, never mind.
The enemy general flees. Press forward.
Nice.
So the spirit of his army is broken too. The enemy general is slain, and now his men fear us.
Okay, so they just threw those units away. These units are standing in perfect direction for these equites to come get them. And if I send these in now, then they'll actually be pinned and prevented from leaving before they get hit in the rear. I actually had these societies stop much, much earlier than I just told them to go. I don't want to be that far up. They've routed immediately at the sight of enemies, so this ends up not working. We're making progress. We're killing units, getting closer to the middle. It feels a lot more doable now than it did. Because every time I've ever, in Rome Total War Remastered, tried to take my units and line them up in a city street, it has just been a nightmare. It has not even been close to what I wanted to happen. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to keep on trying until we figure out how to do it correctly. Surely this is some sort of ill-timed joke. Gonna move these up the rest of the way. Oh, right, I need to move all of this up too. There are 4 different ways I need to be moving through this nightmare of a city. I don't like that they have missile units I'm sort of just forced to stay in range of, but I also don't have any alternative to doing this. And this general's bodyguard is going to kill a fucking lot of my men before this is over. I should have the Stadi just try to fucking flee rather than fight this.
Army is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield.
Okay, I'm gonna have all of this run forward now, so that I can potentially end up eventually with their general pinned. In fact, with their general not in the town square, I think now is the moment where I have to move everything forward. Which is the moment this goes from bad to nightmarish in terms of pathfinding. This is my general, so I need him relatively near the battle, and he absolutely cannot ever engage. Okay, so I'm gonna have these 2 Principes try to form up here, in the square, and this Hastati try to do this. The frontmost unit here is going to be going after the general. The other 2 are going to be forming up to go into the square. The Equites over here are all just going this direction. And we're going to quickly realize they all routed the wrong way, didn't they? Only one of them did. Alright, this has to actually happen. They're probably going to lose quite badly, but there's no real alternative. Oh. At least the General's Bodyguard has a terrible angle, but yeah, it just doesn't matter. General's Bodyguard is so ridiculously strong that it's going to absolutely destroy me regardless. Okay, you're not on the side that's facing us, same were you. Your new position is here. So how badly is this going? The Equites have already left, and the Hastati are quickly dying. No, 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 no. Please actually fucking get in there and fight them. Do not stand near them and claim to be in combat with them. Actually do this. It's very important to us actually winning that these hoplites fucking die. All of these Equites can now go hit the General Cavalry from... No, no, please, no. Please actually move in the direction that puts you on a flank instead of... Ugh. Commanding in cities is just such a nightmare. Like, pathfinding in this game is generally quite terrible. Far worse than I remember it being. But, dear God, it's unplayable in cities so often. So how are we doing with actually killing this hoplite? Are we making any progress on that? We've killed 40% of them. Defeat seems certain, but like, you'd think we'd be doing a lot more than this. The General's Bodyguard is basically taking no casualties and routed or destroyed every unit it fought. Meanwhile, we managed to kill another 6 members of the Hoplites. So, I can either assume that very hard has been rebalanced, or that the Greek cities have been buffed tremendously. And I'm going to assume it's the latter. My equities broke before they even finished the charge? Dear Lord. He's just a really intimidating man, you know? We managed to kill another 10 of them. This is thoroughly absurd. Look, I'm gonna need you to actually attack. I'm gonna continue issuing attack commands until this mosh pit's underway. Presumably I just haven't told them to attack enough, and that's the issue. Nope, doesn't seem to have any meaningful impact on us actually doing offensive movements. Yet every unit over here is routed. This enemy general has literally defeated half my army on his own. Of course he's tired, he's killed so many people. He's gonna kill the rest of my army now. Oh, this is so frustrating.
The enemy king lies dead at your feet.
Oh, did we actually beat him?
Hard at his grieving subjects.
I need to pause this. I need to find my general and make sure that he fucking leaves before the hoplites inevitably kill him. He needs to get the fuck out of here. Otherwise, he will die and we will chain rout and lose. I had actually given up this battle as being a complete bullshit loss for a second there. Am I able to look at detailed battle statistics anywhere in this? Yes. General's bodyguard, casualties inflicted 772. It seems like a very average, normal thing to happen, doesn't it? Dear fucking God. Well, we got through it, right? We killed Greece, we killed all of their armies. This will teach me to not put a commander in charge of the army. Presumably, if I had even a 1-star commander, a lot of those instant routes would not have happened, and he would have killed like 400 men instead of 800, 900, whatever crazy number it was. And we'll be enslaving this. We now have the Colossus of Rhodes, and one less rival to deal with. Alright, cool. Can this retrain units? Because if it can't, we're pretty fucked. Also, can you get a man of the hour? Nope, we cannot. Alright, the only thing they're missing is a blacksmith, so presumably they can retrain the whole damn army. Let's try to consolidate this so we can do it in one turn. They can't retrain Principes, unfortunately. Even doing the best I can't retrain it all in one turn. So this turn I'm just going to retrain 2 of them and make a new unit of Hastati. And the next turn I will retrain the rest of them and make the other unit of Hastati. That was brutal. That was the most ridiculous thing I've seen so far in the game. So what we do with this army after conquering Rhodes is pretty straightforward. We leave it in Rhodes to be completely retrained because it got absolutely destroyed by a single man. Hopefully it goes better in Tylus. And this should be much easier. We have archers, they have no ranged units. We have hoplites, they have 1 unit of general's cavalry. We have 4 infantry to their 2. This should be straightforward and easy, right? I just feel so uncertain with sieges in the remaster so far. I feel like everything could just fall apart for literally no reason every time I play a siege. But let's get into it.
The auspices have been taken, and
I'm just not in a mood to hear a speech. So I watched so many men die needlessly just now, I'm too demoralized for speeches. Anyway, I'll be doing the same thing I do literally every siege. Archers move up to the front to make sure the enemy can't actually defend the gates. Infantry moves up behind the archers to move in once the gates are actually down. General for moral support, ram to the gates. Triple speed. Oh, a random thing to note. This unit of archers, I didn't train them. They're the ones you start with in Italy. They've just been traveling around the world killing people for a very long period of time at this point. Once these Foxmen are under about, I think, 80 men, I'm going to turn off fire at will on my archers. Actually, they're already tired. I'm going to turn off fire at will now. I'm going to send my general to come help.
Now is the time to press on and capture this place.
Once my general is through, I'm going to move all of my infantry up to start getting inside the city too. Because I don't want to use my archers firing at small units. They're more likely to miss that way. I'd much rather have them at some point here, something, to fire at units that can't really respond to them. Now that we've taken the walls, we're going to start moving everything in. The Falksmen have been completely obliterated. There's just double speed, or rather triple speed, while we get everyone set up. It is just absurd how silly this is. Gates are complicated, man. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Alright, so I've got all of my units roughly positioned around the city square. It's time to figure out exactly how we're going to be moving in. And specifically, what I would like to do is I'd like to have these hoplites form a phalanx boxing this in. I would like these archers to get behind them and have the ability to fire into the city square. I just simply want these Principes to come out and line up ready to move in. Bastardi are just going to move up as far as they can. You know, I'm going to assume they managed to do that, even though it's red. And I really can't get this cavalry to move anywhere due to pathfinding and formations. As much as I like huge unit size in open battles, in future campaigns I might have to cut it down to high just to make it more playable. Because sieges have been so nightmarishly bad. How far up did I move everyone? This is very likely to start combat, actually. So make sure that they lower their spears. I'm going to have this start firing at the Falksmen. The past many battles, I will tell people to run, and this happens, and I'm just deeply confused. Does this look like running to anyone? It's the point where I'm wondering if there is a bug happening, if it's supposed to be like this. Now, theoretically, this should absolutely destroy their general. Because, you know, this is the whole point of a phalanx, is to stop a cavalry charge. It looks like they weren't super interested in actually doing that, though. What I'm going to do now that those people have fucked up and successfully distracted the enemy is just move all of my infantry into the square. Tell my Bastardi to charge, because I don't really trust them as units since they don't fit in the city. At least the General's Bodyguard claims that they're losing. Dear Lord, I've been pressing the half speed button thinking it was a pause button and getting very confused by the game, not realizing I had it unpaused by pressing the pause button again. Oh, I feel like a complete idiot now. Also, why is there a half speed button? Why would I ever want that instead of pausing? At this point, the archers are done firing. And I'm just going to have all of this infantry dogpile these units that are trying to find their way into the square. That way they will be penned for the eventual coming attack by this phalanx. That works for me. Taking only 80 losses is pretty nice, and I'm glad I finally realized that pause button wasn't a fucking pause button. I wonder how many times I pressed the half speed button and didn't realize it, and how many times you people were screaming at your monitors that I was playing in slow motion and trying to figure out what was wrong. Anyway, we're going to enslave Tylish just like everything else, which resulted in a town expanding. Good job, Segesta, you finally grew up. Look at you go. Also, Iridium grew at the end of the last video when I enslaved a city. I just forgot to actually click on that notification, and it went away when I loaded my save for this. So 2 cities grown, and what can we do here? We can retrain everyone. Can we actually? No, they're getting better weapon. Which might still be entirely worth doing. Just because I want some time to add another unit of cavalry to this army. So this army, again, is just going to be sitting in the town and licking its wounds. It's not actually be moving forward. Jesus, that's what all 3 of my armies did this turn. Oh, that feels grossly suboptimal. Anyway, I thought this video would cover a lot more than just 2 battles, but it turns out that's still a 30-minute video, like an hour of game time. So I'm going to cut the video here, even though I've not even played half a turn in this video segment. This has been Rather Incoherent. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and all of that jazz. And I'll see you around.